morning, campers, and for once it is in fact actually morning. Currently about 7 a.m. Central Daylight Time. We are just north of a city called Mount Pleasant in Iowa, which is a lovely, lovely town. Got a nice big Walmart DC. They had us unloaded in like 90 minutes flat. It was amazing. Never had a Walmart DC get me in and out that fast. Granted, we were on the dry van side today, not reefer, so that probably helps. We were delivering a bunch of particularly odious pet snacks. We picked up at a, so interestingly, the plant was branded as J.M. Smucker. J.M. Smucker Pet Snacks, which I didn't realize Smuckers made pet snacks, which is wild to me because I picture Smuckers as jelly. Jelly and peanut butter, basically. But no, apparently they make pet food over in Topeka. Pet snacks. It smelled terrible, but the load paid okay. So we grabbed it and we ran it up here. We took the Kansas Turnpike from Topeka to Kansas City, Interstate 35 from Kansas City up into Iowa, and then US Highway 34 from Interstate 35 over to where it meets up with State Highway 163. And then we took State Highway 163, which is co-aligned with US 34 for that segment, from that point to Mount Pleasant. So nice, easy trip, only about an hour of non-good highway, which was US 34 between 35 and 163, which wasn't that bad. It was only, it was 55 mile an hour, one lane each direction, a couple passing lanes every now and then. There was a Hirschbach truck in front of me that was doing 55 as well, so it's like, it wasn't really that big a deal. Only got passed by like 2 other trucks the whole trip, which we were on that road for a little over an hour, so that's not bad at all. And then we were right back onto one of Iowa's many rural expressways, which that's what this is. If you aren't familiar with it, this is Iowa State Highway 27, currently concurrent with US 218, but 27 itself is a highway from the Missouri border, where it's Missouri 27. It goes from the Missouri border all the way up to Interstate 35, just a bit south of the Minnesota state line. Highway 27 is also known as Avenue of the Saints. This is the highway that extends from the very end of Interstate 64 in St. Louis all the way up to the Iowa border, and then from the Iowa border all the way up to I-35 near Minnesota, and then technically it goes all the way up to St. Paul. That's why they call it the Avenue of the Saints. It connects St. Paul and St. Louis, but I don't believe it's actually signed anywhere in Minnesota, so sad face. But here in Iowa, it's a really nice 4-lane divided expressway for almost the entire state. Actually, I believe the entire state it is 4-lane divided expressway, or better. There are sections that are freeway, which is amazing. I've been to that truck stop. That's where I got one of my longest lasting charge cables. I remember where we are now. $3.59 for diesel. Holy cow. I wish I'd seen that sooner. Oh, I might do a U-turn for that. Holy cow. No, wait, that's the gas price. Never mind. Or something for diesel. All right. They just put it in green for some reason. Okay. Not as good as I thought it was. All right. That's interesting. There's a wayland up here. There's also a wayland on this highway just in the northern part of Missouri. So there's 2 waylands relatively close together on the same highway. Fascinating. But yeah, no, Iowa built out a series of pretty decent expressways like this. They call them rural expressways for obvious reasons, because it's an expressway and it's in the rural parts of the state. But they're just really nice highways. Your GPS isn't really going to heavily prioritize these because they're not freeways. So you're still going to mostly get routed on Interstate 29, 35, or 80 when you're going through Iowa. But when you need to get to part of Iowa that's not really on one of those, these expressways are fantastic. So there's several of them. The ones that I know offhand is 163, which connects Des Moines to Mount Pleasant, and I think the other town's called Bloomington, which is a bit east of Mount Pleasant. And then there's 27, which goes from the Missouri border near Wayland up to Wayland, Missouri, up to I-35 in northern Iowa. And then there's US Highway 20, which just goes clear across the state. That's expressway for almost the entire length, I think, or better. There's also US 61, which is kind of on the eastern half of the state. It's a really interesting set of highways, because you don't really expect them to be as nice as they are. They're also upgrading large chunks of US 30 to 4-lane expressway. So, and Highway 330 which we've driven several times, which goes from Interstate 80 in Altoona, Iowa, just east of Cedar Rapids, Cedar Falls. I get the Cedars all mixed up, I'm sorry. It goes from Des Moines. Des Moines is a city in the middle of the state, not Cedar something. From Des Moines, from the edge of Des Moines, Altoona, up to US 30 and onward to Cedar Falls. And US 30 has almost been upgraded to rural expressway as well, which is cool. It's only got a little section that's still 2-lane undivided. I'm surprised that Walmart truck is still behind me. I expected them to speed up and pass. I'm only doing 58. That's the other thing I love about these rural expressways is they're, you know, it's got that permanent passing lane, so you don't have to feel guilty about not being the fastest truck on the road, which I never feel guilty about anyway, but it does make for some really awkward moments when faster trucks catch up with you and they can't get around. There we go. Walmart's decided to go around finally. Oh, Sterling. Or is that a Ford? That might be old enough to be a Ford. Wow. Alright. I don't see a whole lot of Ford semis on the road anymore. I believe that was an Aeromax, which was kind of the follow-up to the more classic Ford cabover and the big, like, LT9000. I forget I don't know the Ford designations as well as I should. I know the one that was in SnowRunner, the CLT9000. That's the cabover. And I think the regular one's just the LT9000, which was the conventional version of that particular truck. Similar grille shape. Hi, you're really close in front of me. Please don't hit the brakes. Because there's also someone passing me on the left now, so if you decide you want to turn here, we're going to have a bad day. Yeah, no, I really like these rural expressways. You can just kind of get on these and chill. It's got a lot of at-grade intersections with other roads, but most of the major intersections with other highways are going to be grade separated, or when you get into town, sometimes you'll have stoplights, not too many, but occasionally. For the most part, these are just like nice high-speed roads, especially between towns. And even though it has at-grade intersections, the divide is enough that vehicles can shelter in the median while they wait for traffic to clear in one direction or the other. And they're not high-traffic roads. You don't, like, this is the most vehicles we've seen at any one time since we got on this road. And it's only like a handful. And everyone's going slightly different speeds, so we're all going to split up very soon here. And then it's super easy to get on and off this highway, even without proper on and off ramps, just because it is so far out in the middle of nowhere. I can imagine the noise level's not great for folks that live super close to the road, like that person on the right there. But, you know, could be worse. Hey, it's a JB Hunt Intermodal. We're pulling a JB Hunt trailer at the moment, specifically one of their newer 360 boxes, which is sweet. I like the 360 boxes. They're really nice trailers. Nice and new. They haven't really been beaten to a pulp yet. I've hauled a couple of, like, old school JB Hunt trailers as well over this last week, and those have consistently been old and very worn. But the 360 box is nice and new. They pull great. They don't have the tire auto inflates, but so far the tire auto inflates have been kind of hit and miss on all the JB Hunt trailers I've had, so, you know, not super upset about that. Tire auto inflates are really good when they're, you know, maintained. If you don't maintain them, they develop air leaks and they just bleed out your tires. Hello, Carl. So yeah, we're popping up to, we're going to jump on Iowa Highway 92, which is not a rural expressway. It is just a regular state highway. and that is going to take us over to US 61, which is a rural expressway. So we're going to be on 92 for probably less than an hour to get over to 61, and 61 will connect us up to Interstate 280 southwest of Davenport, and we'll take 280 over to 80 the rest of the way to Chicago. We're picking up a load of paper in the suburbs of Chicago, and that is going to take us back over to Salt Lake City, back into Mountain Time, where we belong. And from Salt Lake City, probably going to have to bobtail home, just because there's not a whole ton of power-only freight up to Missoula or nearabouts. So we'll take the hit on the fuel costs to get up to Missoula. I can usually do about 12 miles per gallon on that, so it's not super expensive. It's not cheap, but you know, the cost of going home when you don't have your own trailer. Once we have our own trailer, we can actually get cargo up to Missoula, because you know, that won't be that difficult. I could always call up Palmer Express and see if they've got anything that needs to go up to Missoula. I wonder if he hires owner-ops. That'd be an interesting turn of career, huh? End up driving for the actual Jim Palmer himself. Let's see here. We should have... It looks like we're actually going to have a proper exit for this highway. So once again, like what we said earlier, most of the intersections with other state highways are grade separated. So you don't actually have large volumes of traffic driving. Oh, welcome back, campers! Sorry for earlier. It was only like a couple seconds ago for you, but it was like 12 hours ago for me. No, not that long ago. It was like 10 hours? No. Actually, no, yeah, close to 12 hours ago for me. No, 11 hours ago for me. I don't know, time is fabrication. Actually no, it was right about 10 hours. Sorry, distractions. My batteries ran out on the GoPro. Oops. That's okay, I plugged it in. We had to stop and take a 3-hour break to set us up for a split sleeper period tonight. Which is why I'm still on the road, you know, over 12 hours into my shift. I've been up since 4. Oh, set forward axle, 49X, that was cool. I've been mostly seeing the set back axle version of that, so it was cool to see the set forward axle. It looks a little more classic that way, especially with the sleeper. Oh god, I'm so easily distracted right now. Yeah, so I got the camera charged during our 3-hour break. It's very windy. We just had some thunderstorms on our way out of Chicago. We're headed west on I-80. The wind is coming from the north. The thunderstorms are largely behind us, but I think there's one somewhere off to our right, and that's producing the lovely breeze. Maybe a couple more up ahead of us too. That line doesn't look completely benign. Probably nothing. I think I see a little bit of a rain shaft ahead on the left. But yeah, we went into Chicago, picked up a cargo, a load of paper. It looks like copy paper. We're going to an Office Max. Warehouse, so copy paper actually makes total sense. Woohoo! Oh, that wind is fun. Except then, that was not fun. It might look really dramatic in the camera because the whole cab on this truck really moves a lot with the wind, more so than any other truck I've ever driven. It's honestly, it's kind of shocking. This truck, I've never driven a truck before this one that is so badly affected by crosswinds. Like we've had several days in the last 2 or 3 weeks where we've been dealing with 30-mile-an-hour crosswinds, and most of my other trucks, you know, you get the cab tilting to the side, it would feel a lot like this once the wind really picked up, but your fuel economy wouldn't be that badly impacted. This truck, it knocks like a whole point off my fuel economy. Like, we go from 8.5 miles to the gallon down to 7 point something, like 7.3, not even high sevens, low sevens with a strong crosswind, which tells me that a bit more of Freightliner's fuel saving work is in the powertrain, and Kenworth's is a little more in the aerodynamics. That or the aerodynamics on the Freightliner are just a lot more stable in a crosswind. Maybe something about the way it channels the airflow over the skin makes it more difficult to disrupt by having a wind from an unusual direction. And that is not apparently the case on the T680. I would love to see some actual like wind test data on these things, but actually finding wind tunnel tests on semis is surprisingly difficult. There's one big wind tunnel in Palo Alto. Is it Palo Alto? It's at Moffett Airfield in the Bay Area. There's a huge wind tunnel there, and they do test trucks there, but they don't ever really show significant videos of those because it's all secret. It's all private information, and everyone's afraid to show their work. International's got some great videos of one of their trucks in there, but they're only doing it like 30-mile-an-hour testing because that's like the limit at which you can't put a person in there anymore. And they all the tests that I've seen at International is recorded and put on the internet. Those were with people with smoke wands inside the wind tunnel with the truck, trying to find all the little gaps in stuff where wind would get sucked into the superstructure of the vehicle rather than pass cleanly over the skin. It was really fascinating to watch. Like, it really, really sets off how important all of the aerodynamics on the International LT are, especially on the trailer with the side skirts. Really quite impressive, honestly. It also had the flow belows on there, and that's just seeing the effect that those had on the Airstream was one of the reasons I'm like, I've got to get those on my truck. Like, I know the difference is minuscule on what my actual fuel economy will be, but gosh, I've seen what they actually do for the envelope of air flowing over the wheels of the truck, and it's just it makes my little physics-based heart flutter. Yeah, it does look kind of nasty up ahead of us now again, doesn't it? This could be interesting. Am I actually catching up to this truck? I don't think I'm catching up to him. Maybe. I might be, actually. Yeah, I think I am. Gradually. Must be really struggling in this wind to be going slower than me. Nobody goes slower than me. I am the slowpoke. Oh yeah, that's definitely another line of storms up ahead. I can see some distinct rain shafts off to the left. Woo! Ha ha! Alright. Wow, that was an intense one. I glanced in the mirror just in time to see the truck behind me catch that too. Oh, that was fun. That knocked us over a couple feet. This might be another bad one here. This gap. That wasn't so bad. Not so bad. I think we had some help from the Estes double on our left. Alright, that was exciting. Yeah, we definitely have caught this person. Not sure I want to pass them, actually. How fast are they going? Are they doing 55? I think they're doing 55. I'm content to do 55 with them for a bit. Especially because we're getting a little bit of a benefit from their wake on the wind. Not a lot of it, because it's mostly coming from the right, but it's definitely a little less noisy tucked in behind them. Alright, anyway, you can find me on social media. We are headed for Salt Lake City. I don't know if I said that out loud yet. We have delivery on the 28th, and we're headed home for a couple of days. So I can wrap up my end of quarter stuff file IFTA, file. I've got to file. I've got to file the highway use tax for this truck because it's the end of the month after I got it. Stuff like that. We get to pick up our hut sticker, so that'll be fun. We can actually take loads to New York once we have that. I get to pick up my, also much more important than the hut sticker, I get to pick up my transponders for toll roads. That's right, I've actually acquired transponders for all of the toll roads in the middle of the country, all the toll roads on the eastern part of the country. I believe it also works on E470 in Denver, as well as, we're probably not going to use E470 hardly at all, now that I'm paying for the tolls myself. And they aren't, like, factored in heavily in the pay for the loads. But also, I believe it works on the Bay Area bridges, other than the actual, like, Golden Gate Bridge, which we'll never cross in this truck. I am actually not legal on the Golden Gate Bridge with any trailer that I've pulled ever with this truck. We could bobtail across the Golden Gate Bridge, which I have done before. I have bobtailed across it, but with have you found someone slower than you? No, it's just a disabled vehicle on the right shoulder. It's a Walmart container. A Waltainer. It's a very shiny, nice new Walmart container. I've noticed a couple of surprising new players in the 53-foot container market. I've been seeing a lot of prime intermodal happening on containers now, rather than full trailer on train setups. And I've also been seeing a lot of Walmart containers that I haven't really been seeing a lot. They're all still shiny and new, so it's like I don't think it's that I didn't just notice them. I think they are just actually new. That storm's actually not looking like it's going to be a ton of fun. That's really dark. Oh boy. If that's bad enough, we might have to park it and wait it out. Because, like, we're already getting blown all over the place, and we're not even at this storm yet. We're still miles away. A lot of scud. I don't see any, like, really organized structure to this thing. So we're probably good. It's probably not severe. But it's also just got a lot of rain to it, so it might just be obscuring the features that would otherwise set off alarm bells in my head. There we go, that's a nice view of it now. That's big. Alright, I'm gonna go drive through this thunderstorm. I will see you guys in the next video. My name's MacLeod. You can find me on the internet at MacLeod, Xbox Live, Steam, Nintendo Switch, etc. Come say hello on the internet, specifically Twitter. Twitter's the best place to get a hold of me. Or you can just drop into the comments below the videos, because I do read them all, because I am still a tiny, tiny channel. Speaking of flogolos, there's some on that truck right there. See how cool they look? Most drivers hate the things. I don't know why. But the cool thing is they make them in white. So we can buy a set that will already match Harold's paint scheme. I guess orange would be a little bit better, just because that's like the lower half of the truck is orange. But white's good enough. White is good enough. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye. All right, cue the Twister soundtrack. Dun!